This video is sponsored by the Amazon Appstore, where you can go ahead and use Amazon Coins. Amazon Coin is a digital currency that is available through the Amazon Appstore, where you can download your favorite games. You can purchase Amazon Coins to use it to get several items through the Amazon Appstore. Doing so can let you save on apps, games, and in-app purchases. Every 100 Amazon Coins is worth $1, and coins you buy will never expire. Now you might be wondering, why not just spend regular money? You see, Amazon Coins has a nice bonus added to it. The more you purchase, the greater the discount applied to the sale, so you potentially get more mileage out of the money you plan to spend. For example, if you'd like to get 50,000 Amazon Coins, it's normally at the price of $500. But Amazon Coins has its own discount applied to it, slashing the price down to $400 instead, a 20% discount. There are multiple packs with different discounts, so feel free to take a look and pick what appeals to you. In order to get access to Amazon Coins, you must be using the version of the game downloaded from the Amazon App Store. So make sure your current account is bonded beforehand on your current version of the game. Then, after downloading the game from the Amazon App Store, load your account back on to regain your progress. This way, you can now purchase Amazon Coins. So if you're a spender looking for ways to get more out of your money, consider Amazon Coins. This is a pretty useful feature that can help you with your budgeting, so if you're interested in this, make sure to use the link in the video description as it supports this channel. Thanks again to Amazon Appstore for sponsoring this video, and speaking of which, let's get back to it. So I have to be honest, I didn't really like the last 73 tier list. It just didn't have enough tier lists, you know? No breakers, no field supports, and it didn't take niche species stuff into account, which is just something I really care about. So this will be a bad idea. Well, once again, the top 5 units. Please keep in mind that as these tier lists are top 5 only, the units shown on these lists will be placed relative to each other, because smushing everyone into one row because weak units exist isn't very interesting to look at. First, damage. The main thing we consider here is maximum numbers and nothing more. Unfortunately, as a result, units whose damage falls off after their burst will look a lot stronger than they actually are, which could matter in different scenarios. Similarly, units who really benefit from certain support won't look as great either, as that's contingent on external factors not everyone has access to. If you need support to get an element, you don't count for that category. If you deal hybrid damage, you're a contender for both categories. Watch! Fire damage, Physico, Tyvis, Rain, Roberta, Golden Riser, Mazurka, but Balthier's even better when you pair him with Fran. Fire damage, Magic, Olive, Pop, Angela, Hadler, Roberta. Ice damage, Physico, Chow, Bravia, Laswell, Kurasame, Fran. Ice damage, Magic, Pop, Bravia, Chow, Laswell, Zoma. Lightning damage, Physico, Esther, Baron, Dai, Kane, Nailica. Lightning damage, Magic, Baron, Sakura, Tiana. And honestly, at this point, you're better off just making another lightning magic damage dealer. Water damage, Physico, Tidus, Roos, Jet, Balthier, Elena. Water damage, Magic, Olive, Elena, Nicole, Physalis, Tiana. Wind damage, Physico, Chizuru, Orin, Wilk, Sky, Ricard. Wind damage, Magic, Poppy, Renoa, Tiana, Barbaricha, Emperor. Earth damage, Physico, Wilk, Groth, Madame Adele, Cyan, Tulian. Earth damage, Magic, Lefsha, Shinju, Darkfina, Renoa, Tiana. Light damage, Physico, Knights of Grand Shao, Kane, Elena, Mam, Dane. Light damage, Magic, Olive, Yuna, Bravia, Elena, Kamari. Dark damage, Physico, Sephiroth, Rain, Faye, Carton, Cleo. Dark damage, Magic, Dark Rain, Renoa, Darkfina, Olivera, Yigni, Flexibo, Physico, Chizuru, Esther, Wilk, Elena, Groth. Incidentally, Balthier and Sky really make it up there with the right teams or setups, but that's really contingent on external stuff. Flexibo, Magic, Olive, Bravia, Elena, Angela, Roberta, Morale, Chizuru, Wilk, Olive, Esther, Sky. Tanks, Physico, defensive capabilities only. Runda, Jet, Warrior, Snow, Mont. Tanks, Magico, Ash, Chow, Hyunko, Maeve, Snow. We now have 2 more units for 400% stat buffs. Lamp burst damage hasn't seen anyone kneel though. Fields haven't seen anyone kneel here either. Modifier buffs are a thing I have no idea how to categorize. Sylvie is amazing though. Support, Fire, Lefsha, Rain, Roberta, Chow. Ash. Support, Ice, Bravia, Celeste, Yoshikiri, Roberta, Elmatai. Support, Lightning, Sylvie, Sakura, Roberta, Sylvie, Conch. Support, Water, Poppy, Kaido, Nico, Yoshikiri, Tiana. Support, Wind, Poppy, Bulwark, Chizuru, Frisia, Arts. Support, Earth, Sylvie, Raka, Maeve, Tiana, Hava. Support, Light, Poppy, Fina, Aerith, Chow, Kryla. Support, Dark, Dark Fina, Kryla, Bulwark, Yigni, Olivera. Support, Fields, Fire, Terra, Luis, Rain. Fields, Ice, Terra, Bravia, Lunafreya. Fields, Lightning, Terra, Ferris, Lunafreya. Fields, Water, Ferris, Lunafreya. Fields, Wind, Ferris. Fields, Earth, Ferris, Lunafreya, Diverti. Fields, Light, Fina, Fina. Fields, Dark, Yuna, Dark Fina, Seymour. Support, Killers, Aquatic, Frisia, Nico, Roberta, Tiana, Elmatale. Killers, Beast, Axstar, Eldrin, Chizuru, Leng, Rain and Fina. Killers, Birds, Fina, Bulwark, Zidane, Kefka, Celeste. Killers, Bugs, Sylvie, Edge, Elmatai, Roberta, Chizuru. Killers, Demons, Sylvie, Dark Fina, Wilk, Kaido, Reagan. Killers, Dragons, Wilk, Kaido, Celeste, Roberta, Last One Reagan. Killers, Humans, Yoshikiri, Hava, Elena, Vaughn, Lulu. Killers, Machines, Elmatai, Ash, Yoshikiri, Kaido, Lefsha. Killers, Plants, Elmatai, Sakura, Chizuru, Bulwark, Tiana. Killers, Reapers, Yuna, Ling, Sakura, Esther, Frisia. Killers, Stone, Elmatai, Sylvie, Ash, Raka, Roberta. Killers, Spirits, Ash, Kaido, Riku, Bulwark, Fina. Species Mitigation. Oh no. Mitigation, Aquatics, Jet, Celeste, Warrior, Eggs and Wedge, Yuna. Mitigation, Beast, Guy, Mont, Barrett, Galif, Chow. Mitigation, Birds, Bulwark. I can't think of anyone else. Mitigation, Bugs, Roberta, Napi. Mitigation, Demons, Warrior, Hyunko, King Bahimi, Kaido, Olivera. Mitigation, Dragons, Warrior, Kaido, Roberta, Napi. Mitigation, Humans, Mont, Guy, Seymour, Kresnik, Melia. Mitigation, Machines, Ash, Barrett, Afmao, Biggs and Wedge, Kaido. Mitigation, Plants, Galif, Mazurka, Bulwark, Poppy. Mitigation, Reapers, Warrior, Seymour, Olivera, Charlotte, Ling. Mitigation, Stones, Daisy, Ash, Hyunko, Sylvie, Roberta. Mitigation, Spirits, Daisy, Vayne, Jet, Kaido, Yuna. Elemental Resistance. There are several notable 7 stars who can also provide 100% elemental resistance, but I didn't want to include them because there's not much else otherwise. But then this one comment made sad robot noises and I was like, aww. Aw, Lucas, Sylvie, Elena, Mont, Sylvando or Marie. Fire, Tiana, Hein, Roberta. Ice, Hein, Yoshikiri, Roberta. Lightning, Sylvie, Jet. Esther, Tiana, Hein. Water, Jet. Cacteria, Tiana, Lunafreya, Yoshikiri. Wind, Chizuru, Tiana, Arboricha, Bulwark. Earth, Sylvie, Cacteria, Daisy, Tiana. Light, Hyunko, Ash. Daisy, Dark. Seymour, Hyunko, Ash. Elemental Resistance, Fields, Fire, Yuna, Lena. Fields, Ice, Yuna. Fields, Lightning, Raska. Fields, Water. Fields, Wind, Lena. Fields, Earth, Lena. Fields, Light, Lena. Fields, Dark. Imperils, Fire, Vaughn, Rain, Olive, Ice, Ish, Lightning, Edge, Water, Lulu, Kaido, Laguna, Wind, Emperor, Lena, Chizuru, Earth, Tulian, Light, Reagan, Dark, Axstar. Imperils, Fields, Fire, Lena. Ice, Mog, Lightning, Sakura, Water, Nico, Wind, Mog, Earth, Sigurd, Light, Nyx, Dark, Renoa. Imperils, Weapons, Daggers, Ling, Locke, Furion, Hawkeye, Kaido, Swords, Tidus, Bravia, Furion, Elena, Greatswords, Cloud, Esther, Napi, Knights of Grand Shout, Kaido, Katanas, Chizuru, Kaido, Sephiroth, Shadow, Staffs, Yuna, Chao, Furion, Kaido, Rods, Emperor, Aerith, Realm, Furion, Kaido, Bows, Fina, Furion, Kaido, Locke, Axis, Wilk, Furion, Tulian, Ignacio, Kaido, Hammers, Maeve, Kaido, Spears, Ish, Roberta, Sky, Balthier, Kane, Instruments, Bulwark, Oliveira, Kaido, Axstar and Cleon, Wits, Dark Fina, Kaido, Throwing Weapons, Tidus, Yoshikiri, Tiana, Locke, Lefsha, Guns, Luis, Olive, Laguna, Lightning, Althea, Macis, Ash, Poppy, Kaido, Fizz, Cacteria, Wilk, Furion, Carton, Tifa, Breaks, Attack, Kaido, Cacteria, Locke, Venera, Jet, Magic, Kaido, Cacteria, Locke, Hyunkdo, Kryla, Defense, Kaido, Venera, Locke, Hawkeye, Wilk, Spirit, Kaido, Olive, Luis, Lightning, Emperor, Support, Mitigation. This is mainly abilities rather than tanks, though won't always translate to a essential unit. Support, everything else. Personally, I recommend Kresnik, Sylvie, or King Bahimi for the 4 general stuff. Though honestly, it's really more mix and match depending on the fight. Alright, that's it. There's no way I need to add more tier lists, right? I'm good now, right? Bye!